Hello everybody, this is Felicia and welcome to my channel. I am the Collegiate and I go on many adventures. Thus the name of the channel, The Collegiate Adventures. Anyway, so today I am going to show you, and we've been having some really busy weeks here, but today I am going to show you how to create your own study guide. But as I was thinking about this subject and this topic, because I'm a queen of study guide creators, I decided that I would basically make it a little funner. So we're going to start with that. And the best class that I can actually give you an example of how to create a study guide is in my osteology class. That is the hardest class in the anthro department here at Sac State. So, but I'm enjoying it and I really love it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and show you how to create a study guide. Try to make it fun. I will do my best. I can't guarantee that, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. And so let me know if you have any questions afterwards. And I'm going to be creating this lovely bunch of information. All right, guys. Peace. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I create all my study guides in Google Docs because I do not like Notion and I do not like the other programs because they have their preset things in them, you know, like the dots and everything. So if you just want a basic study guide and you want to do whatever, how you want to do it, my suggestion is to go to Google Docs. And plus on top of that, you can access it at school as well if you need to, and on any device, as long as you have your password. So what you want to do with your study guide is you definitely want to give it a title. So this is one of the things that I suggest that you do because this is very important. That way, when you need to find it, you know exactly what it is. And what I do is I put the date of not the study guide, but I put the date of what the quiz is going to be. That way I know what study guide this is for. And so I put the lecture, that the lectures and stuff. And then I also put the date for the study guide because it's very important that you keep the date here. So we have a quiz every week here in our osteology class. And it's a good thing because it helps keep you on track and all that good stuff. But what I found out that by me creating my own study guides, it not only helps me study, but it helps me solidify the information that I am inputting into the computer so that I can reread it. And usually 9 times out of 10, I'm reading this so many times over and over, it can't help but stick. Of course, I do read it a couple more times after this study guide is created, but this helps. And so what I'm doing is I am pretty much going a little slow here so you can see. I gave it a title. I gave what the study guide is for, what the quiz and what the study guide is all about, the information that is. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you can break this up however you want, but this is how I broke it up. So it is broken up just like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, excuse that up there. You're going to see I get phone calls. Everything talks to each other here on the Mac. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed this up so that you can see what I'm doing and because it took me about an hour to do this. So each one of my subjects gets a subtitle. So that's what I'm doing right here. I am putting a subtitle here. And I'm doing this just for your benefit right now, is I usually go back and I usually bold everything and underline everything, all the subtitles. And once again, when you do that, that actually helps solidify the information. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest tool ever in creating your own study guides. And so what I found out by me doing all of this, and I bullet point everything, as you can see, it just helps me keep everything in order. So I speed this up, and I speed this up tremendously. And we're not going to go through this whole thing, of course. I'm going to be skipping around. But what I do is once it's all typed up and everything, I just double check and go back and make sure I have the right bullet points because this is coming from my notes. Now, your notes, I'm going to tell you, they're not the end all be all. What you want to do is you want to create a study guide from your notes, because you can read your information, you can double check the information, you can make sure that you have all the pertinent parts of what you need to know for either an exam or a quiz or whatever the case may be. That is exactly what you want to make sure you have when you're creating your study guide. Now, I know some people think, oh, well, why do we got to create a study guide? Because I'm taking my notes. Well, if you honestly take a step back and you look at your notes, you make a lot of mistakes because you're trying to keep up with the instructor. And sometimes they do these little PowerPoints, or sometimes they put things on the board and then you're not able to keep up, and then you skip information, and then you're looking at your, as a matter of fact, sometimes you're looking at your what they call that? I'm sorry, guys. You're looking at your fellow student. And once you're looking at your fellow student, you are trying to figure out, well, what did they say? Or you're asking, what did they say? You know, here's where this helps you study. If you're creating the information and you're making your own study guide here, and you're creating information, and you're trying to figure out what in the crap you wrote, what you can do is you go back and you look up the information in the books that they give you. You can even do a little 10-15 minute research and stuff if you don't have the book, or if you have the reading that they gave you, or if the professor has provided you with a PowerPoint on Canvas that you could access. You can go back and look at that information. Once again, what this does is it helps solidify you. For every unit that you have, they say you're supposed to spend about, give or take, I think it is, it says here about 2 to 3 hours for every unit. So if you have 3 units, you want to times that by how many hours, which gives you approximately, let's see, 3 units, you have 2, 4, 6 hours for the week. That's not a lot of time, believe it or not. It goes by pretty fast. So that's what you want to do when you are studying for every unit that you have. So, and if you have a part-time job or anything like that, of course, you know, you have to schedule that as well, but your studying really comes first, to be honest with you. So this is how I create my study guides. This helps me, and believe it or not, I've gotten really, really high scores on my quizzes and on my test due to me reintroducing myself the information that the professor goes over with you in class. So you're not forgetting the information. So this helps, and it helps tremendously. I don't know, and I've read studies about this, and when you do create your own study guide, it really, really does help you solidify the information, and it does make for better scores. So, and don't forget, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. So we are all going to make mistakes. Sometimes our study guides are not perfect, and so we want to go back and just kind of proofread them. And then once you're done with proofreading your own study guide, you can go over the information again. So by the time you're finished with the study guide, you've studied quite a bit. And so that leads, maybe you probably, if you do it right, you probably have to study maybe another 3 hours, you know, but not all in one sitting. I do not recommend you study for 6 hours in one sitting. I recommend that you break that up throughout the week, or if you don't have that kind of time, throughout the day. And make sure you take study breaks, because I definitely do myself. So I am almost done with this study guide here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right to the end, where you're going to see the finished product here of the study guide. Be sure, if you have any questions or concern, if you want to ask me something specific, you can go right ahead. Like I said, I don't use Notion. I tried using Notion, and it's just a whole new learning curve that I refuse to give into right now, maybe at a later date, you know, but right now I'm just not, it's not meeting the needs that I have. So if you just want to just start, if you're just want to start just a regular old study guide, you can use Google Docs, or you can even use a Word doc. Google Docs have everything, and trust me, Google Docs have saved my life many, many, many times over. Let me tell you, because there have been times when I've typed up a paper on Google Docs and I forgot to bring it to class, and then I go and I print it out. So, hey, it saves you because you can access it. So, Alrighty, if you, like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, I hope this was helpful. As you can see me going around here, flipping around, I am almost done with my study guide. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip right to the end so that we can, pretty much I can point out some things to you right at the end. Alrighty, so here is the finished product of the study guide. As you can see, there are some things that are red that are important that you need to know. Make sure that you know. So this is it, guys. If you have any questions or anything about this study guide, I'd be more than happy to answer because I've been doing this for a while now. So don't hesitate to ask. So now you know how to do your own study guide. So sorry this took a little long. I know some of you are getting ready to step into your midterms right now. So I hope this will help. Was hoping to get a little bit more material up for this, but this class has taken a hold of me, but it's a great class. So I'm just going to recap a little bit on the study guide method here that I have. But what you want to do is you want to make sure your study guide has a title and the date. Title and date. The second thing you want to make sure when you're making your study guide is you want to definitely make sure that the information that you're getting, that you're putting on the study guide is from your notes. It might take you a little bit of time to decipher your notes because if you write like I do sometimes, you know, it depends. But I really make an effort to keep my notes as neat as possible. The third thing you want to do is make sure that when you're doing your study guide, you give everything its subtitles and then all the information. And the fourth thing that you want to do is any words that you need to have the definitions for, you want to make sure that you have those definitions. And what I do is I either bold those words and then put the definition, or I will turn them a different color and then put the definition. But you want to make sure that the terms that you need to learn for whatever it is you're taking, whether it's a quiz, an exam, midterm, final, you want to make sure that that stands out so that you can see it. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions or anything like that, please, please, please leave all your comments below. I definitely answer everything. So I'm hoping this helps. And those are like the four most important tips that I can give you right now, because I mean, I can't stress how important it is that you keep track of what you're learning in school. Make it an effort to do that. And like I said, for every unit that you have, it's about 2 to 3 hours of study time. So just remember that. And as you're writing that study guide, don't forget you are studying. Yes, 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 you are studying, because you are basically going over the information that needs to be put in that study guide. Like I said, once again, I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Peace, guys.
Talk to me.